That's right. I'm only making 2 Halloween videos this year. Leave a comment. I'm sure I'll read it. Greetings, viewer. Welcome to my channel. My name is Grown Star, and today I have for you a Halloween-themed tier list. Of course, since my channel is mostly about Just Dance, this is a tier list of all of the Halloween songs in the Just Dance franchise. Now, not all of these are strictly Halloween, but they do all have a spooky aesthetic that you could fit into Halloween, at the very least. You may agree or disagree with some of these listings, and you're absolutely allowed to have your own. In fact, I encourage you to have your own opinion. But enough ramblings in the beginning, let's just begin with Monster Mash. If you've already seen my Just Dance map review, then you already know what I think. But in terms of a tier list format, I think I'm gonna give it a super. I am giving it a lot of slack for being in Just Dance 2, and that's pretty much the only reason why it's up this high. The costume is fairly basic, although it is a creative idea to use an actual classic monster, although Frankenstein's monster, there could have been some better things. Honestly, this feels like a song that would be done much better if it was released today. But they also had the chance to make at least the background really good for when they ported it to Unlimited, but they didn't even do that. So that's disappointing. But I guess it's not the song's fault, so it goes in super. Up next, we have Professor Pumpernickel. Now, that took me a lot of tries to say correctly because, man, this is a tough name. I will say, though, other than the fact that this is probably the hardest song in Just Dance 2, for no real reason. Like, come on, this song has no right being this hard. It is better than Monster Mash, in my opinion. I mean, at least it has difficulty for those that want it, but, especially around the Just Dance 2 days, you really shouldn't have a song this abhorrently difficult. There are extremes easier than this song. Like, come on. That's what's scary about this anyway. Up next, we have the one and only This Is Halloween by Danny Elfman. And, you know, this is obviously from A Nightmare Before Christmas. But I do like that they didn't reference it, like, at all. They made their own thing for this Just Danceification that we have here. And I'm honestly going to give it a perfect. I feel like it would have been extremely easy for Ubisoft to partner with Touchstone Pictures and simply have Jack Skellington or some other character from A Nightmare Before Christmas to be the coach, but no, they went to have their own thing. Although I don't like that they reused the costume from Professor Pumpernickel. At least in my opinion, they changed it enough to maybe be its own thing, but if you squint, you might not be able to see the differences. But I remember back in the day, this is the song that everybody could get down to. Everybody knew how to dance this song. Everybody wanted to dance this song. This is one of the quintessential Just Dance 3 songs. If you managed to get 3 people to agree to dance to any Just Dance 3 song, it was probably gonna be this one. I mean, the aesthetics alone, like, come on. So that's why I think it gets it perfect. Up next, we have Time Warp from Just Dance 4. Now, this is the first one where people might have some objections as to whether or not it should be considered a Halloween song. I consider it a Halloween song because it has a lot of the same aesthetics. You know, the haunted house, the creepy magic, the zombie. I don't know, I just feel like it fits with the whole Halloween aesthetic. You could put this and every other song I'm going to talk about in a Halloween playlist and I wouldn't really complain. And because I have an extreme bias towards Just Dance 4, it gets a yeah. But putting my bias aside, it is objectively pretty good too. Clearly it has the most effort put into it. The background actually moves. There's way more effects. They mess with the sizes of the coaches. It's great. I really don't know what else to say. Up next, we have I Will Survive. With I Will Survive, I'm going to make a point that will come up later in a different song. But I just want to preface this by saying that I like that they turned the aesthetic into a more of a zombie type one than what the original artist was probably intending. When you think about it, if a zombie apocalypse were to happen, they did technically survive. Although I will concede that that was probably not the original artist's intention to have this song have a zombie aesthetic. But they do play around with it a lot, and I do really like this one. It's definitely one of the songs in Just Dance 2014, I'll tell you that much. This one goes above This Is Halloween. Just shy of that, yeah. The upper echelon of perfect. Up next from the same game, it's the Ghostbusters theme. It's okay. And this is another song where people might argue with me about the classification of this being a Halloween song, but come on, it has a big ghost in it. Ghosts tend to be Halloween related in some way, shape, or form. around this time of year. But the fact that the background is kind of basic and they don't even try to represent all the Ghostbusters, and the fact that the real life puppet of Slimer is yellow because they use a green screen, which is disgusting, makes me just give this an okay. Although, if there was going to be another song in here, it would probably be above it. On that note, we have Ghost in the Keys, and this one is honestly kind of divisive for me. I don't really know where to put it. It's not bad, it would not go down here, but it also isn't worthy of even being below Time Warp. I could put it down in the middle, but that doesn't really feel right either. And let me explain why. The background of it is much better than Time Warp. The costume design in some areas are far better than the Ghostbusters theme, but in other areas, they are just as bad as Monster Mash. Like, look at the ghost in Ghost in the Keys. That's just the classic white blanket with some holes. It's not scary, that's not even close. But at the same time, they did not reuse the Professor Pumpernickel coach design and actually made a new Pumpkinhead ghost and actually made a new Pumpkinhead design with 2 more new designs that they could have easily ripped off from either This Is Halloween or Time Warp. Like, would anybody have complained if 2 of these designs were from either Time Warp or This Is Halloween? I don't really think so. And also I have a bias towards Just Dance 2017, but not as much as Just Dance 4. So I'm going to put this song in between This Is Halloween and I Will Survive. I like it better than This Is Halloween, but not as much as I Will Survive. Up next, we have a kid's song. And up next, we have another kid's song. Well, actually, let me switch this over here because it actually fits the Halloween aesthetic a bit better. This one really only has the monster gimmick. At least this one has a better ghost design than the one in Ghost in the Keys, but that doesn't give it enough points to even go into good. Because if Ghostbusters theme isn't in good, then you don't get to be in good either. I am not into kiddie songs in the slightest, not even a little bit. Always look on the bright side of life, it's good. And the reason why I put it in good is because it's not as memorable as even Monster Mash or Professor Pumpernickel, but I would much rather play it than Ghostbusters theme. And again, you might ask, why is this considered a Halloween song? They sing about death. I think death is pretty spoopy, so it goes in there. And this is my ranking. Do you agree with any rankings? Do you disagree? Leave all of your comments in the specially designated section below, and I will have a link to this template in the description so you can make your own. Thank you for watching. Adios.